At the same time, the atmosphere in the reception room of the Eden Bar was extremely solemn. The bar owner, manager, security guards, and relevant staff stood in a row tremblingly, all with expressions of imminent disaster. Because, the little prince of the Lu Corporation, Daniel's precious son, disappeared in their bar. On the sofa, Daniel's face was as cold and hard as ever, like an ice sculpture, without any unnecessary expression, but the coercion of the superior made everyone's legs weak and sweat poured down, and they didn't dare to utter a sound. A young man was kneeling at his feet, crying with snot and tears, "Brother, I'm sorry, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have brought Rick to the bar. If there is anything wrong with Rick, I won't. Alive." As soon as the words fell, he kicked his chest. The sound of bone shattering made one's scalp tingle, and everyone at the scene trembled. Saul Lee coughed violently while clutching his chest, then immediately got up, straightened his back and knelt down again. "Now that my parents are on vacation abroad, they still don't know that Rick is missing. If they knew, it wouldn't be as simple as being kicked by his brother, and he would be skinned alive." Saul's heart was ashamed, and the door of the reception room was suddenly knocked. The owner of the bar closest to the door opened the door and saw that there was no one at the door. He was surprised. He lowered his head and was dumbfounded. "Little, young master. Little treasure. Oh my God. Little treasure. Second uncle's darling. Where the hell have you gone?" Saul got up and hugged the little guy tightly, weeping bitterly. Everyone in the room looked like they had survived a catastrophe. Daniel walked to the door in a few steps, picked up Saul's back collar and threw him away, then knelt down in front of his son. "What's wrong?" Finally freed from his second uncle's clutches, little treasure grabbed Daniel's hand, anxiously trying to pull him away. As soon as Daniel got close to his son, he smelled alcohol on his body. Besides that, there was also a faint scent, not a strong and pungent perfume, but like small flowers blooming on the glacier, exuding a scent of alcohol. The faint, cold fragrance made him inexplicably familiar, and he even had heart palpitations for a moment. Seeing that Daniel was not moving, Rick pointed in one direction with his little finger. His little face was full of anxiety. Daniel picked up his son and walked straight towards the direction his son pointed. Seeing this, Saul and a group of people behind him all looked at each other and followed. 5 minutes later, a group of people stopped at the warehouse door on the top floor. Rick twisted his body and got off his father, and slammed on the door of the warehouse with an extremely anxious expression. "What's wrong with Rick? What's in it?" Saul was at a loss. Daniel ordered expressionlessly, "Open the door." "Yes, yes, yes." The bar owner nodded repeatedly, then turned his head and scolded the female manager next to him. "Manager Yi, what are you still doing in a daze? Open the door quickly. Where's the key?" Open the door." The female manager froze. "Oops. That woman Selena is still locked inside. She promised Janice that she would lock her up at least until the audition was over." However, with the two gods of the Liu family and the boss waiting, how could she say no? She could only tremblingly took out the key and opened the door. As soon as the door was opened, a woman fell unconscious on the ground. "What's going on here? Why is there a woman inside?" The boss was furious. I don't know either. When I checked before, no one was there." The female manager explained with a guilty conscience. "Quick. Save people first." As soon as someone walked over and tried to get close to Selena, Rick immediately threw himself on Selena with a grim face, not allowing anyone to approach her. Next chapter.